Hello guys, here you have two figure 8 knots. Both knots are perfectly tied. They are not tangled or anything, but one is a good knot and the other is a bad knot. And why do these two figure 8s, which support practically the same load? Why is one bad and why is the other good? Well, now I'm going to explain it to you. So watch the video guys and I'll see you in a few seconds. All right, here are two well-tied figure 8 knots. Each of these will support the same, and there are studies that have shown they support the same. But these figure 8 knots, despite looking very, very similar, are not the same. And for that, I painted half of the rope. This is the rope that comes out, and this is the rope that one hangs from. So pay close attention. That, for example, this is the rope from which one hangs. This one goes over the system. This is called the upper tractor because it goes over, okay? The rope that pulled this one, which we are going to release a bit here, goes over the knot, while this other knot, the rope that pulls, which is this one, we are going to release it a bit there, okay? That rope goes underneath, and this one is called the lower tractor. Both knots are secure. In general, these knots should withstand a load of about 15 kilonewtons approximately. A short announcement. Finger strength and Tindeq course lasts 5 hours. Finger strength planning course lasts 7 hours. The videos are already recorded, so if you want them, you can buy and watch them immediately. And if you also want to train with me, just write to me on Instagram, whether it's for the Tindeq finger strength courses, finger strength planning, or if you want to train with me. Therefore, either of the two knots will withstand what it needs to in the event of a fall, a sport climb, or any type of climbing. The big difference between these two knots, okay, the big difference is that this knot, which is a tractor, upper tractor, this knot under falls, this knot becomes very, very, very tight. In fact, here I am showing two videos, both by Harry CC, who was one of the first to research this and whose video is incredible, as well as one of the studies I did personally to really find out if this was true or not. And the results are amazing. I mean, with this type of knot that has a superior pulling force tightens a lot, whereas this knot, which has an inferior pulling force, tightens, but not as much. And that's important. Why? Because in a certain way, many of these knots, the figure 8 knot, the big criticism it has is that it tightens a lot, but it depends on how it's being done. It depends if it ends up as a superior pulling force or as an inferior pulling force. Throughout my life, I made the figure 8 knot with an inferior pulling force, okay? But without knowing it. I thought I was doing it right, while I had friends who made it with a superior pulling force and said, no, this knot is very bad because it tightens too much. I would look at them and say, I don't know why, it looks the same as mine. Of course, when one doesn't see these differences, for example, now I have it color-coded so it's understandable, inferior pulling force and superior pulling force. It's hard to notice, okay? So now you need to know that when you make your figure 8 knot, the rope that will support you must pass under the knot as an inferior pulling force. Additionally, in roped climbing, where I also found a lot of information about roped climbing, it says that since this is attached to the harness, and once you fall, when you are falling, here I will do it on purpose. When you are falling, this tightens, and tightens in such a way that this knot, which is connected to just this, as you are falling, this knot starts to open, but mostly just around there. And this becomes very, very tight. And here a false ring is created. And Of course, the cord is very, very, very focused on safety. And it says that this can also pose a danger that someone might hook something onto this. For example, in a situation of stress or whatever, where they want to attach something to their front ring, and suddenly, without looking, they encounter this and it happens to this knot that was formed. This is very dangerous because this ring, if I pull it, notice it takes no effort. And you could have an accident because of it. Of course, it's a situation that should be 1 in a million, but the idea is that there shouldn't be even a 1 in a million chance. So guys, what I'm going to tell you is that you need to do a lower tractor. This is very easy to do. In my case, I have to say how I do it. I simply make a knot. What I do is take my rope, fold it, and make this type of knot where I get the figure 8. So I have my knot. I grab the rope as it should be, okay? I take this, insert it through the corresponding side. This rope has to follow through to another. I put it all the way to the end. This goes behind, okay? I insert it, following the same knot, which follows the same knot, okay? I insert it here, and I immediately know that my lead rope has to be on top. I mean, my lead rope, has to be on the bottom. Therefore, this one goes on top. So I immediately leave the knot as a bottom lead. Then I continue this. Follow it here. Place it here. I almost messed it up there, okay? And my knot is perfectly made. That is to say, the rope that holds me will be the bottom lead. And from that point of view, the knot won't come undone anymore. What I can do, in general, the leftover rope should be about a palm's length. I leave a bit more to make a safety knot, but this safety knot is actually useless. But this way, the knot is well formed, and when I grab the rope to clip in, I will never accidentally grab the other one. When this rope is very long, I might grab this one. Although, of course, it's almost impossible. If they are very long, it could happen. If they are short, a little. But for that reason, I only make a safety knot. In reality, this safety knot won't make this knot more secure. But this way I know I'll never grab the leftover rope. And this safety knot as close as possible to the main knot. And there we would have our figure 8 knot with a bottom lead so it doesn't tighten more. Alright guys, now you know the difference between a well-made figure 8 knot. In this case, it would be a bottom lead, okay? Or a poorly made figure 8 knot. In this case, it would be a top lead. This is the poorly made knot. This is the well-made knot. Now you know how to do it. So guys, if you like the video, a like would help me a lot. A subscribe and all comments are welcome, because the more people know this, the better. All right, guys, a hug. Bye-bye.